Disclaimer, this podcast discusses mental health. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you're struggling with your mental health, please remember it's okay to ask for help and seek the appropriate help through a qualified healthcare professional.
Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? My name is Jake Pearson, and today we have with us an actress who is in love with the idea of storytelling using various art forms and has been pursuing acting full-time for the past year and a half. We have Shonda Royall from Phoenix, Arizona, United States. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really well. Let's dive straight into it. Would you mind sharing, as an actress, I guess, and just you from your personal life, what does make you happy?
Even though it might sound a little cliche, I don't care. What makes me happiest is serving others. And I realized that, I want to say maybe 2.5 years ago, when I actually started pursuing acting. But then at the same time, there were a few people in my family who were diagnosed with a few ailments. And I was trying to pursue acting and caring for, those individuals in my family. And I was realizing that even though I was pursuing my passion, I was actually more joyful in the fact of knowing that the people that I was serving were being taken care of, that I was doing everything in my power and my will to make sure that they were okay. Not that I was healing them or, playing any God role, but that I was serving them the best that I could. And then what started happening was that started translating into everything else I did, including, my passion, which is the art, right? And performance. So instead of going in with a me attitude, I was starting to go in a very servitude, humble, I'm here to help way. And that attitude has allowed me to really see that it is a collaborative effort. It is being a person who will literally lay down whatever diva-ness that could arise and literally being there to assist the visionary in what they want to do. So that is literally what has been bringing me joy thus far.
And I think a lot of other people who have mentioned on this podcast have shared a lot of the same thing, that they love helping other people and they find a lot of happiness there. So I'm seeing a very nice common theme across a lot of people who find happiness in their lives. So thank you for sharing what makes you happy there, Shonda. I guess as an actress or just yourself as well, what would you say to our listeners who are struggling to find what makes them happy in their lives?
One thing I would say is start by looking outside of yourself. When you're consumed with your problems, your situations, basically you really can't see the bigger picture, which is that other things are going on around you that you could affect change in. So once you start there, and a lot of people say that one thing they'll do is volunteer, which I am wholeheartedly for. Once you step into someone else's shoes, that allows you to take a perspective of, wow, I don't have it so bad. I'm actually totally blessed. I'm living such a fulfilling life. And what more can I do to continue this journey of happiness, staying in this track, in this lane of joy, and how can I assist others in doing the same? So that's, I think, my top piece of advice is getting outside of yourself first.
Yeah. And I guess for those who may struggle with that, what do you think the easiest way to get outside of yourself is? Is that trying to just envision yourself in someone else's shoes that you're close to? Or is that journaling? Where would you start with that?
Beautiful question. For those who may be a little introverted, journaling would definitely be the best way to go. Because that's you, once again, getting outside of yourself and getting it all on the page. But if you are extroverted and you don't mind talking to someone, that could be along the lines of having a conversation with somebody and asking them how they're doing, right? Taking all that off and handing it to someone else.
Beautifully said. And I think that's actually a great piece of advice as well. Shonda, thank you so much for making time to come share all things that make you happy. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.